Welcome everyone, and thank you for spending 30 minutes of your day with me. I'm Melissa Washington, and we're here to talk about LinkedIn. But before that, I just wanted to just a few quick things to share a little bit about me and who I am. So with that, I wanted to share that I served in the United States Navy, and then after that, I got involved in sales and worked with boutique companies, both um, recruiting. So it's been over 10 years of recruiting and staffing, and some of those were in boutique companies as well as Fortune 500 companies. So what happened was that well, I remember 2009, and unfortunately I was laid off from my company in 2009. And with that, what made it even worse was that my company had just relocated me a year prior from another area. So I only knew 5 people in the area. So I really didn't have a network really established in the area. So everybody, the economy, it's was horrible during that time. I was going on interview after interview. Well, what happened was I got involved with a job seekers group, and a lot of people kept asking about how to use this link thing, this linked, I'm not sure, this linky, how does this LinkedIn social media going to help me? So what I started to do is actually I started holding workshops at my dining room table, and that's why there's a dining room table photo there. And with that, I was able to start showing job seekers on how they could effectively utilize LinkedIn to find their next job. So this is 10 years ago. I've been on LinkedIn now for 11 years. I was an early adopter, and I've used LinkedIn in all different capacities. And I was able to use my skills of knowing LinkedIn to help job seekers during that time. Well, come to find out, LinkedIn would actually help me in directly in my career as well. So in 2011, I was on a path of starting my own business doing LinkedIn training, as I saw that there was a market for it, which expanded out not only just job seekers, but sales professionals, recruiters, small businesses, marketing, others that can really harness the power of LinkedIn. So I'm starting my business, well, in 2011, and I ended up meeting a director of sales effectiveness at LinkedIn, ended up connecting with him, and in June of 2011, we had connected, and he asked if I could come and help do some corporate event meeting planning for LinkedIn. So 3 months turned into 4 years, and I worked with LinkedIn doing the global corporate meeting event planning, and that was a very exciting time, and LinkedIn truly changed the course of my life, and it continues to today. But now my focus is mainly on workshops, trainings, individual trainings, as well as team trainings on how to effectively utilize LinkedIn. And also, too, if you listen to podcasts, I have my own podcast channel. I'm on iTunes and Stitcher, and you can also listen to me on my blog. So I'm bring on guests, as well as I have my own time where I share different ideas. So a lot of it's about LinkedIn, careers, small businesses, networking, and a lot of really great tips. So if you do listen to podcasts, feel free to check me out. And also, earlier this year, I started the Women Veterans Alliance. With me being a Navy veteran, I saw a need for us to be able to help empower women that have served. And I started the Women Veterans Alliance, which is now the largest women veterans group in California. So in 2014, I launched a book. Never thought I'd be a author. I don't like to write, but I am a writer. And of course, my longest chapter is chapter 9, which is the LinkedIn chapter. And it's a lot of great smart and savvy real world strategies for anybody looking, whether starting a business because you need to brand yourself, you need to network, and all of that's covered in my book, which is of course on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, as well as my website. So that's enough about me. So let's get into really why we're here, and it's really to talk about LinkedIn. I created this infographic a few months ago, actually before the summer, and the numbers have already changed because LinkedIn's pushing or has pushed over 400 million users. At that time I put this together, it was 330 million. So 2 people join LinkedIn every second. So it's a rapidly growing professional network, and LinkedIn is the #1 online professional network. So really think about who's using LinkedIn. So when I put this together, at the time, we're looking at about 56% men, 44% women. I've probably seen an uptick of women really utilizing LinkedIn, so this number may change slightly. And looking at age demographic, and that's the graph there, infographic there to the right. This is 77% are over the age of 25. So if you think about it, the age, 77% of the people on LinkedIn are over the age of 25. Bottom left is the average income of a LinkedIn user. I've seen this up to 120,000. This one shows 80, somewhere in that ballpark. And the one in the middle, 39 million plus are college students, which is actually also the largest growing demographic on LinkedIn, are college students. And then followed by 4 million company pages. And we're going to touch a little bit on that today, but not a lot. But the company pages, quite honestly, that's one of the most underutilized functions on LinkedIn are the company pages. Because with the company pages, a lot of times people, especially small businesses, don't understand that they can actually have a company page. As long as you have your own domain, you can have a company page. So whether you have a nonprofit or you're just a one-person show and you have your own domain, you really want to create a company page on LinkedIn, which will give you a dual presence with your personal profile as well as your company page. But I don't want to bore you with any additional numbers, as we know that social media usage has increased year over year, also in addition to the mobile usage. So with that said, what does your online brand look like? LinkedIn should really, really be a part of your toolkit along with other social media marketing platforms. And then how well do you offline network and online network? So when I talk about offline networking, that's when you're meeting people at events or conferences or having coffee or you're in the line at Target, you're networking offline. Then we have the whole online piece, and that's really where LinkedIn comes into place as far as how are you networking online and using LinkedIn to help build your brand and to build relationships with that. And also too, not only you, but for those of you that have teams, is how well does your team network online? So, LinkedIn is really a key piece at continuing those conversations online and really strengthening relationships. So if we take a look at it, so what does your online brand say about you? Because think about this, truly, once you've created a LinkedIn profile, you've created your online brand, believe it or not. Not sure how many of you know, but your LinkedIn profile, it's searchable on all the search engines. Even if somebody doesn't have a LinkedIn account or is not logged on to LinkedIn, they can still find you online. So you've created an online brand, and what does it look like there? So I always recommend people, Google or Bing or Yahoo yourself and see what's out there. And then hopefully your LinkedIn profile should be one of the top 3 search results. So today what I'm going to give you are some great tips on LinkedIn. And I want to share a great acronym I came up with, LINK. So with this, I'm talking about looking your best, give you the insider scoop, your next best move, and a kick-ass custom LinkedIn strategy. And so with this, I'm going to make sure you know what's coming down the road for you for your next step, so that once you get the basics down, you know where to go next, and I can support you that way. That way you don't really have to figure everything out on your own, because some people say, oh my gosh, LinkedIn is such a beast and there's so much information there. How can I really figure all this out? And that's why I haven't used it. Well, that's why I'm here, having my experience of using LinkedIn, having worked there. I know a lot of the ins and outs and the best ways for people to use it, but it's such a wealth of information. And I want to be able to share you all the different pages and ways you can effectively utilize LinkedIn, whether you're 14 years old, if you don't know that LinkedIn lowered the age, and I'm also starting to work with high school students. So whether you're 14 or 65, there's a capacity that LinkedIn can help you, believe it or not. So let's get into this. So the first one is, I really want you to look your best. And that's number one. People get caught up in the keywords and other things, but they don't make the simple steps to make sure that they look their best. A couple of things you want to avoid is the ghost photo. So we all know what that, and hopefully none of you are the ghost person. And then more of that skeleton profile where there's really not a lot of meat there. So which means you don't have a photo and all the right information about you. So again, no photo if you look like a ghost person, you don't have the right information. So let's think about this. So let's say you have all the right keywords set up, everything is directing people to your LinkedIn profile, and then they get there, and then there's you from 1987. Big hair, big collars, wrong colors. It does not say anything about who you are and why they want to work with you. So you want everything laid out perfectly to get people there, but the first step is you want to make sure that when they get there, you have the right information. So really just think about that. So what I want to do is I want you to go ahead and, if you can, take a screenshot of this or write these questions down. But so here are 4 questions I'm going to give you to make sure that you have the right things so people will be attracted to your profile. If you get them there, they want to work with you, they want to hire you, whatever your goal is, you want to make sure that you can accomplish that goal within your profile. So you're really going to make your profile work for you. So once you have your profile down, that's really the starting point. So what I want you to do is take a look at these questions, and then I want you to go back, later today, and then take a look at your LinkedIn profile and look at it as if like you've never seen it before. And then you want to really ask yourself these questions. And then after reviewing this, would you want to do business with this person? So when I go to your profile, does it convey what you can do for me and why? Are you giving them a reason to do business with you? So this will tell you pretty much exactly what you need to work on. Um, of course, there is the photo piece, which that's quite obvious, but let's focus on, do you understand what this person does? Meaning, is it clear when someone reads your profile? Also, do you have any visuals on there? So thinking about, do you have any type of videos? Do you have photos? Do you have any other documents? And really, is it clear what you do? Do you have acronyms spelled out? Would I understand what you do if I was not in your industry? So think about that. Then the next one I want to really look at, is it easy to connect with them? So meaning not, is it easy to make a LinkedIn first degree connection request, but is it easy to contact them, connect? Again, do you have do you have your contact information listed somewhere in your profile? Because with the first degree connections can see your contact information, but second or third can't. So with that, do you have your right contact information listed within your profile so someone can reach out to you? The next one is this person credible enough that you'd want to do business with? So really think about this, the whole credibility factor. There's different ways that you look at a person as far as their credibility. And different things are, do you have the right recommendations, your connections, your certifications, your education? It's all about that credibility factor and making sure that you have that in your LinkedIn profile. And remember too, your LinkedIn profile, it's not your resume. This is your online brand. This is more of a portfolio than resume. Don't even think about the resume piece. Just this is your online brand. And another thing is, if your ideal client is searching online, would your profile be found? And that's again when we get into, are you using the right keywords, right? So once you have that down, what you want to do, the next step is to really get your keywords down. Keywords are, I'm sure all of you have heard of the SEO, the search engine optimization, ranking better on Google. So you really want to have those keywords listed in your profile because it makes you easy to find, makes the right people be able to find you, and really does help get you to your next step. When we're going to make sure that we keep you on track with just the first step today, which is more focused on the profile piece. So, well, a lot of people are like, okay, why is she talking about the personal profiles? The key thing is you and your team, if you got a team or just you're brand ambassadors for your organization. And what better way to market your organization than through your employees? So a lot of, here comes some pushback, and I get this, a lot, but not as much as I used to, is, I don't want my employees active on LinkedIn because they're looking for jobs. Well, guess what? In fact, only 32% of people that are on LinkedIn are actually using it to find jobs. So the rest are using it to do research and to network. And so it's really key to get everyone, within your organization on LinkedIn. And I'm really starting to see a big increase in team trainings. And this is where companies want me to come in and train their teams. So not just their sales, it could be recruiting, marketing, their admin, the different managers. And this has been quite successful. So think about it. When your leaders and people throughout the organization are on LinkedIn, they increase authenticity, transparency, and humanity of your organization. People want to work with and buy from other human beings. So that's where, the profile is really a key piece for everyone involved. Again, not just you, but if you have others within your organization, to have that. And that's why I love to come in and do trainings to help everyone see that, how they can all work together on having a good profile, as well as creating the company profile and adding content for that. So let's go on and move to the next one, and that's the letter I, and that's my insider scoop. So with insider scoop, now this is like having the white pages on steroids. So we all remember those white and yellow pages books that were, eventually used as booster seats for little ones at the dining room table. We don't see many of those anymore, or we do, and we still use them as booster seats. But so let's just say that you're interested in working at UPS, or you want to do business with them. So you use LinkedIn to find out who you know that works there, or who you know that knows someone that works there. So think about how this can really save you time, saves you from reaching out to dozens of people who don't know anything about what your goals are, and instead lets you connect with exactly the right people. It saves you a ton of time as you're looking to really reach those certain goals when it's finding a job, connecting with decision makers so you, whether you want to make sales or whatever it is, know how to research. That advanced search function is going to get you further faster. And that advanced search function is there on the top of your screen when you're on LinkedIn. It doesn't go anywhere. That is a great tool to have. But the tip I want to give you, actually, you know what? I have two tips I want to give you. One is to use that advanced search function. It's very, very robust, but the easy way to do it and actually make it work for you on a day-to-day basis, if you're going to meet people, let's say they emailed you or they contacted you through another social media channel, or maybe you met them in networking, and then what you want to do is you want to vet them through LinkedIn. So go ahead and type their name there in that search bar, look at their profile, find out who they are, or you haven't met them in person, you want to know what they look like. So hopefully they do have a photo that's recent and looks like them, and it will give you practice really using this advanced search tool. So that way, every time you meet someone, go to LinkedIn, get familiar with things, and really do the research and get more comfortable with using this tool. And again, going into the advanced search, and everything that I'm sharing with you today, too, is utilizing the free version. Of course, there's a lot of add-ons when you use the advanced version, but the everything I'm sharing with you is the free version. So the second thing, and the other thing about research is that when you get into groups, and groups are really, really powerful. One of the things it does, if you use a free version of LinkedIn, which I recommend that you do until you get more advanced and know how to use the functions, but one way you connect with people that aren't your first degree connections. And when I say connect, I mean or you can message them within the group. So that's a key piece. A lot of people don't realize that's there. And joining these different groups, they give you so much access to the people that you want to. Now, the trick is finding the right groups. That's the next step, is to know how to research to find the best groups. The next steps I talked about with looking good is the keywords in your profile, and those pieces really go together. They pretty much are your next step. So let's move on. N is for the next best move. But before I do that, I really want to show you how you can get these results faster. I want to make sure everyone gets this information to take this further. If you're looking to leverage LinkedIn, then I really truly invite you to consider working with me. And I have my program coming up. It's the 30 Days to LinkedIn Mastery. This is free if you really want to easily get to know what you want on LinkedIn, expand your business, find candidates, new career, new connections, more business with less effort, which is great for anyone, a professional presence that draws the best connections to you, to make selling a piece of cake without feeling pushy. And another thing too is if you're looking to find great talent, oh my gosh, LinkedIn is a gold mine for anyone that's looking to find talent. So really what you want to do is I have my 4-week program, sign up for it. It's going to start in November. It's going to be my last one of the year. So I recommend people get on this last program. That way you can be ready for the new year and not wait till January, February. So you can do that. Sign up for my LinkedIn Mastery program. It's regularly $9.97. With this, you're going to get 4 weeks with me at $4.97. Plus, for anyone on this call, if you signed up within 24 hours, I'm going to give you an extra hour session with me directly one-on-one. So you get the 4 group sessions, plus you'll get me. But also, too, if maybe this program isn't right for you, but I can also take some time, 15 to 20 minutes, to discuss some other ways that work best for you, because I do have other programs. So let's get back to what I was talking about, is finding your next best move. So with that, your next best move is I want to share with you how to get more followers, connections right now. So with the next best move. So when we think about connections, this is you and one person. They're your connection. You're your first degree. Either you sent them a connection request, they accepted, or they sent you a connection request and you accepted. Those are now your connections. Now, also, too, you can also have followers. These are individuals that can follow you. And then you have followers that follow your company, and that's totally separate. Your company page is your company page. Those are followers. So how can you get more connections? So maybe right now you have 250 connections. Well, one of the ways you can get more connections is when you meet someone, for the first time is to make sure you follow up with them with a personalized connection request. So I try to make that a good habit for myself, is after when I meet people, I make sure I do a follow-up with them and connect with them on LinkedIn. And of course, personalize that connection request, because that'll start building your connections. Also, too, you may have an existing contact database, whether it's an Excel spreadsheet or a CRM. You can take that, upload into LinkedIn, and decide, look through that list and decide who you want to connect with on LinkedIn. Also, too, and this is a big thing, is your social media links on your email signature. If you get an email from me, most of the time you're going to see that I have my email on my email signature, the different links to social media. So that's the key. Do you have those there? Are they easy accessible for people? Do you cross promote all of your social media sites? Are you doing that? Another great thing is what you can do is do a whole start a follow me campaign to get more people to follow your company page. So really think about that is, okay, I want people to follow my company page. Well, you got to get out there and let people know about your page and to follow you. So again, that comes in, or the email signature, that comes in with the cross promoting. It's getting more people to follow you, right? Because what you really want to do is you want to turn these followers, these connections, into results. So that comes from the whole engagement piece of how do you take all these people I'm connecting with and how do you turn that into engagement? And that'll be the next step that we go over is following, um, is this engagement with your keywords and finding the right groups, but really connecting with people. And I keep saying this, but personalizing connection requests, because that's such a pet peeve of mine when I get connection requests and people don't personalize it. And you're just so missing out on an opportunity to be able to connect with people. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be somebody you met yesterday. It could be people that you knew 10, 15 years ago. And a great example I have that was from a fellow job seeker, John, who actually he's the one that sat at my dining room table, one of them, 5 years ago, and said, hey, I'll try this link thing out. I don't know if it's going to help me. So he did. He went and we sat down for 2 hours, created his profile, and started putting a list of people he wanted to connect with. And so he said, how is it going to help me with somebody I worked with 10, 15 years ago? How are they going to help me here today on LinkedIn? Well, he did that. He went and connected with people he worked with, and pretty much they were all in a different region, connected with them. And guess what? Later that year, he got a job offer. It was a brand new job. The job was never posted, all because he connected with someone, let them know he was looking for work, where he was, and he got the job. So again, just the importance of personalizing those connections, but also too, connecting. Don't be afraid to connect. This is your network, right? And don't be afraid to build it and build those relationships. So the next thing I want to give you is some information regarding your strategy, which is letter K. It's your kick-ass custom LinkedIn strategy. I love this. So really think about your strategy, but are you being personally engaging? So I'm not a fan of automation. Automation really doesn't cut it when it comes to this, unless it's huge. But there are programs out there. The ones that I'm talking about. They promise you 20,000 connects, and my thing is, really be a person with a pulse. And again, going back to customizing that, and just having that customization, that personal touch, and we're still people. We still want to build relationships with people, and so really think about what your strategy is, and what would be the next step on putting together a plan to implement to have consistent content. That's a huge thing, is having that consistent curation of content. Consistency, consistency, consistency. You got to have people see you all the time. You got to be consistent out there, and you got to have good content. And also, too, in the ways you respond to engagement. Well, you're probably saying, what, I don't have the time. Well, you know what? You got to make the time, and I'll show you how. In our next step, I can show you how to make your life easier using a social media calendar and so many more strategies. So what I want you to do is really, take a breath and imagine, please don't fall asleep. I'm almost done. So I want you to imagine whenever you need something in business, you have a network at your fingertips that you can quickly bring your new business relationships effectively, your new career. So just think, if you already had that network developed, how much time would it save you and your sales team? How much money could it save you? How much money could it make you? Well, I really want you to imagine all this, and this is really what LinkedIn can do. And you can have this. You know, I help people do this all the time. And again, I suggest that you get that network at your fingertips to really to truly bring you what you want. And you know, our time goes by so fast here with the 30 quick minutes. And so what I want to do is share with you my contact information. And you know, feel free to follow me on social media. And also, too, you can go to my website and get on my newsletter list where I always send out some great tips and resources. And with that, you'll also get my 20 LinkedIn tips for free. But if you're ready to, you know, stop working so hard to figure out LinkedIn and get on track to significantly use LinkedIn to increase your presence, online brand, expand your network, you know, I really, truly invite you to consider working with me. For those of you seriously interested in finding out more, here's where everyone starts, no matter how big your goals are. Again, sign up now. It starts November 2nd is my mastery program. Again, my last one of the year at the introductory rate. So again, if you sign up within the next 24 hours, I'll give you 1 hour for free with me. So if you're here local in Sacramento, that 1 hour will be face-to-face. If you're not, well, you can do it over the phone or Skype, and there's a lot of value to that. Also, too, you know, there's different ways you can work with me. I do team trainings, I do speaking, I do workshops, and the one-on-one. So if you're interested in that too, I quickly, you know, just send me an email, Melissa Washington, with the 2 times that you're available the next week. We can set up a time to talk. And I only have, you know, a handful of appointments opening up, so I really do want to help people. But these are reserved for people that are seriously about growing your visibility on LinkedIn and have the budget to invest. So I get where you are and coming from, and I really want to be available to you. You know, email me. I'm not a high-tech guru who speaks techie. You know, I understand your world and I teach LinkedIn in everyday words. But for people who have attended my programs, work for me individually, it becomes their ticket to greatness. So also too, as an added bonus for everyone that attended the call, make sure you check your email box. I'm going to send you some great other resources. One of them is if you're looking for someone to write your profile, not really show you how to use LinkedIn, but really how to write like your summary, because that's such a key piece in your profile. I'm going to recommend someone there. Also, too, for those that are local in Sacramento, I have a fantastic photographer that's taken my headshots if you really need to get a photo, and I'll send you their information. And also, too, just to wrap it up, as I have a couple minutes, my friends over at eGrabber, and I'll quickly share with you about eGrabber. They've got this great program for finding email addresses, and they have a promotion just for the folks on this webinar that I want to quickly share with you. So how many times have you gone to, whether on LinkedIn or Google or any other place, and you search and you found a person's name and the company, but you just can't find their email address? Well, guess what? This eGrabber tool does that for you. It's not just on LinkedIn. You can actually use it in other spaces, but it's great to use on LinkedIn. So say you come across, you know, a second, a third degree connection, or maybe they're not even connected to you. With this eGrabber tool, it pops up, and what you do is you put in the person's first name and their company, and guess what? It's going to actually show you their email address. Fantastic tool, and I've used it, and again, great way if you want to really shorten that, whether it's at sales cycle or getting in front of someone because you're trying to find their email address. The eGrabber tool. So with this, it's called the Email Prospector, and for 30 days, so just think for 30 days, $69. It's a regular $129. They also have another program or longer that you can use, but they wanted to offer this today. So you just go to egrabber.com/Melissa/buy, and the promo code is my name. So just think for 30 days you can have this, or you can buy the year one where you can get it longer. But this is really for folks that are really looking for you know, the email addresses to be able to contact someone, and I highly recommend this eGrabber, and I've used it before. It's effective. You know, we just, especially if you're in small business or other, you got to have, you know, the right tools to use, and that can help you get business a lot quicker. So with that, I just wanted to end and say thank you, truly thank you for taking 30 minutes out of your day to listen to me. And if you need to get a hold of me, all my contact information is there. And if you Google Melissa Washington, I guarantee you I'm going to be on that page, so you can definitely find me. So with that, all of you, take care.